You walk into a room you've never been in before, and your body just stops for a second. Because you've been here. Not in a dream, not in a photo. Here, exactly like this. The light coming through the window, the smell, the muffled sound of the street outside. But you know that's impossible. That's called déjà vu. And somewhere between 60 and 80% of us have felt it at some point. But here's the thing. Déjà vu isn't an old memory resurfacing. It's your brain inventing a fake past. Right now, in real time. And if it can do that so effortlessly, without you even noticing, what's stopping your real memories from being made up too? Déjà vu comes from French, already seen. The guy who coined it was named Émile Boirac, back in 1876. Fun detail, he was a parapsychologist. He studied psychic phenomena. Because back then, déjà vu was treated like something supernatural. Reincarnation, alien abduction, premonition. If you felt like you'd been somewhere before, the most obvious explanation was you had, in another life. Makes total sense, right? Science didn't seriously dig into this until the 1950s, and what they found was way stranger than past lives. Déjà vu isn't a memory from the past, it's a sync error happening in the present.
Think about it. We grow up assuming memory works like a video file. Something happened, it recorded. Want to remember it, hit play. That's not how it works. Memory is more like a DJ remixing live. You think you're hearing the original track, but what reaches your ears has already been edited, cut, remixed, sometimes without you even realizing it. Every time you remember something, your brain reconstructs it from scratch, pulls fragments together, fills in the gaps with whatever seems to fit, invents details you swear are real. And déjà vu? That's the moment you catch your brain in the act. In 2014, researchers at the University of St. Andrews in Scotland ran a fascinating experiment. They used word association to plant false memories in volunteers. Basically, they convinced people they'd seen words they had never actually seen. 2/3 of participants reported déjà vu. But the most important detail was in the fMRI scans. Brain activity didn't show up in the hippocampus, where memory is actually stored. It showed up in the frontal cortex, the decision-making region. In other words, the brain was trying to resolve an internal conflict. I feel like I've seen this, but I know I haven't. What the hell is going on? Déjà vu is the alarm going off for that conflict. There are two main theories for how déjà vu actually happens. The first one is kind of wild, dual processing. Your brain has two hemispheres. Sensory information is supposed to reach both at the same time. But sometimes one hemisphere lags. Milliseconds, you don't notice, but by the time the delayed signal arrives, the other hemisphere has already processed everything. Result, the brain registers the same experience twice, and interprets the second one as, this has happened before. A researcher named Robert Efron figured this out in 1963. The left temporal lobe receives information both directly and through the right hemisphere. If there's even a tiny delay, you feel familiarity, not from years ago, from half a second ago. The second theory is even more unsettling, divided attention. Imagine you walk into a bakery you've never been to while you're scrolling your phone. Your brain takes everything in, the glass display case, the smell of warm bread, the woman at the register. But you're not really paying attention. The information comes in subliminally, gets logged. Then you pocket your phone and actually look around, and there's a neural trace saying, I know this place. You think, wait, have I been here before? No, you just saw it before you looked at it. Two researchers, Marsh and Brown, tested this by showing people photos of places they've never been. Right before each photo appeared, they flashed the same image for 10 to 20 milliseconds, enough for the brain to pick it up, not enough for you to consciously notice. The result? People swore they recognized the places. Familiarity, manufactured in less than 1/5 of a second. Normal déjà vu lasts a second, 2 at most.
A weird feeling, you shake your head, and it's gone. But there's a pathological version of this, and it's terrifying. In England, a man named Pat Long developed a brain tumor the size of a lemon. He started having epileptic seizures, and alongside them, continuous déjà vu. It wasn't just, I've seen this before. It was déjà vécu. I've lived this before. Pat spent entire weeks unable to tell the present from the past. Real memories, hallucinations, things he'd only imagined, all of it collapsed into the same thing. He knew rationally that he was experiencing the moment for the first time, but he felt viscerally that he'd already lived it, for days, weeks. Try to sit with that for a second. You lose your anchor to time. You can't tell what's real and what your own mind invented. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. If your brain can fabricate familiarity this easily, from a half-second delay, from an image you barely registered, what else is it making up? Childhood memories you swear are yours, but actually came from an old photograph, or a story someone told you so many times that you think you remember it, or a movie you watched as a kid. Eyewitness testimony, traumas that shaped who you are, beliefs you'd defend to the death. How many of those are honest reconstructions, and how many are honest inventions? A 2019 study found that people between 15 and 25 experience more déjà vu than any other age group. And they found something curious. People who get déjà vu frequently use their hippocampus less, the brain's library, when retrieving memories. Here's the kind of dark hypothesis. Maybe déjà vu is a sign that you can still notice when your memory is wrong. And maybe as we get older and stop having déjà vu, it's not because our memory got better, it's because we lost the ability to detect the lie. There's a scene in The Matrix where Neo sees the same black cat walk by twice. He says, déjà vu, and Trinity replies, a glitch in the Matrix. It happens when they change something. It's fiction, obviously, but the logic isn't that far off. Déjà vu is a glitch, not in a simulation, in your perception. And the truth is, you're constructing reality all the time, whether you know it or not. Your brain edits, cuts, invents details, and you trust it completely until the moment it slips up so obviously that you catch it. So here's the question. If you can't trust your own memory when it says, I've lived this before, how do you trust it when it says, I haven't? Now I want to run a little experiment with you. Drop a comment. What's your earliest memory? It doesn't have to be anything deep. It could be something completely random. A birthday party, the smell of your grandma's house, the day you wiped out on your bike. But before you type it out, ask yourself honestly, did that actually happen, or do you just think it did? Are you remembering it or rebuilding it? Go ahead, leave a comment. And if after writing it out you get that strange feeling of, wait, was it really like that? Welcome to the club. And if this video made you question even one thing you thought you knew about your own life, hit like. It helps more people have this same healthy existential crisis.